Hey, what's up, people? Piz out here. Today I want to talk to you guys about the newest Blu-ray release from Synapse Films, Countess Dracula, starring the great, beautiful, voluptuous Ingrid Pitt as this aging countess. And her husband has recently passed away, and during the reading of his will, this young lord comes to their home, and she falls in love with him, and along the way she discovers that the blood of virgins is the fountain of youth, apparently, and if she bathes in virgin blood, it will make her youthful and beautiful yet again. She begins courting this young lord, posing as her own daughter, and however, the bloodbaths only last so long, and every time she reverts back to her old, haggard self after a bloodbath, she is uglier, older, and more haggard, which means that more bodies have got to be bled in order for her to remain youthful and beautiful. And if this premise sounds pretty familiar, it's based on the real-life exploits of Countess Elizabeth Bathory, who was a pretty interesting character. She too believed that bathing in blood kept her youthful. It's said that back during her day, she tortured and killed upwards of 600 women. So she's pretty prolific. This is a Hammer film, and as with most Hammer films, you have sort of those Hammer prerequisites. You've got awesome set pieces, you've got these beautiful interiors of this castle, just this gothic, beautiful gothic feel throughout the entire film. Great interiors, great sets, beautiful film to look at. You've got beautiful, voluptuous women everywhere in various states of undress, which is pretty nice to look at as well. But Countess Dracula, for me, is really set apart from a lot of other Hammer films because it's a really engaging story. It's not a vampire movie, despite the title Countess Dracula. She's not, a typical vampire. She's just bathing in human blood to become youthful again. It's really more almost a psychological horror film. It's far more depthy than some of the other Hammer films. Ingrid Pitt gives just a phenomenal performance. Her performance is worth the price of purchase alone. Great performance by her in this film. Great performances all around. The movie is it's not a real bloodbath, no pun intended. It's not very graphic. It's not very violent. It's not very gory. It's very talky. There are a lot of characters. There's a lot of dialogue, but I never really felt bored watching the film because I was invested in the movie. You kind of, along the way, you feel kind of bad for Ingrid Pitt's character, but then you're reminded that, of the lengths that she is willing to go to remain youthful, which includes sacrificing her own daughter. So yeah, you're kind of torn there. There's that duality in the film, which I really enjoyed. And again, Ingrid Pitt just does a fantastic job in this film as Countess Dracula. Really enjoyed this movie more than I had anticipated. I think I had anticipated just sort of a silly Hammer movie with, the gothic interiors and exteriors, and of course, lots of voluptuous women running about, which we get that in Countess Dracula, but we also get, a good story, good characters, some meat on the bone, something to really sink your teeth into, and I really appreciated that about Countess Dracula. The Blu-ray from Synapse Films, the picture quality, the sound quality, as with just about every Synapse Films Blu-ray release I've seen, is just absolutely top-notch. The sound quality in particular, just great sound quality. We do have some special features on here, an audio commentary with actress Ingrid Pitt, director Peter Sadsby, screenwriter Jeremy Paul, and author Jonathan Southcott. I did not watch the commentary, so I cannot say if that's a solid commentary or not. I did watch the featurette Immortal Countess: The Cinematic Life of Ingrid Pitt, which was very, very interesting. I believe it's just sort of a snippet of a much longer documentary about the life and cinematic career of Ingrid Pitt, which would be very, very interested, which I would be very, very interested to see at some point. She had a very, very interesting sort of life. She grew up, or she spent her early years in a concentration camp, but she had definitely some interesting film roles. And although she was sort of typecast as the horror lady, as the vampire, so on and so forth. But that would be a very, very interesting documentary to see full length. What we get is about a 10-12 minute snippet from the documentary, which was very, very interesting. If you're an Ingrid Pitt fan, this is a must own. Synapse Films Blu-ray DVD combo pack of Countess Dracula, the Hammer Collection. Highly recommend it if you are a fan of. This was some of the latter day Hammer films. Pretty good stuff here. I highly recommend it. If you're a fan of Countess Dracula, if you're a fan of Ingrid Pitt, you're going to want to check this out. I'll put a link below in the description to Synapse Films' website. And again, until next time, you guys take it easy.